Hey, I'm Elliot. You know, one of the only two guys in the class. And today I'm gonna present you a video game which I didn't spend that much time playing. Yeah, only like few hours, not that much. If you don't know, Trackmania is a racing game where you have to get from point A, the starting block, in green, to point B, the finish line, in red. And you have to go through every checkpoint, the blue blocks. That means that you can make some pretty epic skips. With that said, you don't know how Trackmania works. I can teach you what the game is now. Everything started on November 21st, 2003. The core functions were already planned in the game. You could raise pre-made maps by the developers, to which you will earn coppers, the in-game currency, and with them, you could buy blocks like roads, turns, and looped loops. This thing. Then they released 6 games in the next 3 years. One was just a remake of their own game, released the year after. Then they released Trackmania Original, the same game again, but with 10 new blocks. But around the same time, they've also released Trackmania Sunrise, a DLC, downloadable content, the same year, which added nothing but speed, and a stunt mod, which adds points if you make stunts. This game also sees the addition of a new game mode called Crazy. In this game mode, you need to beat different ghost cars to the finish line. In 2006, Nadeo, the company behind Trackmania, released Trackmania Nations ESWC. This time, the game has over 100 single-player maps, with non-line little boards where the top 5 players can be seen on each level. A week after its release, the game already saw more than 1 million downloads, due to the game being free. This game added a new environment to the existing 3, Rally, Snow and Desert, called Stadium. This will be the most famous one, as 90% of the Trackmania games will always contain Stadium as one of their playable environments. Following the release, Nadeo would, 6 months later, release an opus with every Trackmania game under one game, Trackmania United. But this game did not sell as well due to the price being quite high for what it offered. The next year, Nadeo released Trackmania United Forever and Nations Forever. Both remain to be the games that Nadeo will work on forever. They have both been abandoned since. The United Forever version was released for $30 and was a remake but better of the United version. It had 7 environments instead of 4, and the Nations Forever, which released the day after for free, only had the Stadium version. Both United Forever and Nations Forever could play on the same server if they wanted to, but obviously, the United Forever one had more features. In 2009, the French publisher Ubisoft announced that they bought the Nadeo company and had rebranded it to Ubisoft Nadeo. This info is pointless, but you need to know that when I'll say Nadeo, I'll actually be talking about Ubisoft Nadeo from now on. Trackmania 2, and the Trackmania Powered, has been released in 4 parts, in the span of 7 years, with Trackmania 2 Canyon being the first one released in 2011. It was still the same game, but as you can see, you guessed it, it's in a canyon and you have a rally car. Only 2 years later, Nadeo releases Trackmania 2 Stadium, the famous opus from the Trackmania 2 series, and Trackmania 2 Valley. I'm gonna skip Trackmania 2 Stadium for now because it's way too long to explain everything, so I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about Valley 1 first, because it's way easier to explain. It's basically Trackmania 2 Canyon, but in a valley, that's it! And finally, there's Trackmania 2 Lagoon, which is exactly like the other two, but it's in a lagoon and there's magnet blocks. Now it's time to talk about the big guy in the room, Trackmania 2 Stadium. This one is one of my most favorite played games, and this video just cannot explain why it is and the story at the same time, so I'm gonna have to make it really condensed. So basically, there was that one dude named Adrian Nugare. He's like not that famous, he just made the event that raised the most of our money on Twitch and Trackmania events, one per year, for 10 years. He's also known as Zerator. Anyway, this guy just created maps, but not in a way that already existed, because he fucking created his own genre of map style, and I really wanted to try them, so I asked my parents if I could buy the game, and they said yes, and I bought it. And I just played them out, but I'm really bad. But that's why I have over 280 hours in this version of the game. But there's a better version of this game. But before you get to know it, small minigame! What type of game Nadeo release next? Option 1, Trackmania 2 United. Option 2, Trackmania 3. Option 3, Trackmania Turbo. Option 4, Trackmania Turbo, yes. And the answer was... Option 3, Trackmania Turbo. Now you would say, but option 4 also was Trackmania Turbo. And you would be right. But sadly, this is the 2008 Trackmania Turbo DS version. So close, but not close enough. Trackmania Turbo, the 2016 one, was a mix of all 4 Trackmania 2 games, but with a 90s arcade race aspect thrown into the mix. Now it's time to talk about the one, the only, the one I recommend you to play, Trackmania. This thing is not the OG trash version, but Trackmania 2020. They just named it Trackmania because they wanted to be the last game they'll ever release. And they said they were only gonna work on this one from this point on. This version of Trackmania is completely free to play on Windows, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, and Series X and S. The free version gives you basic features such as 10 new maps every season, which is 3 months, a royale mode, which I'm addicted to, which is a battle royale but in teams, and racing instead of player versus player. A ranks mode, a 3v3 mode where you earn points each round based on your placement, and the team with the most points each round wins 1 big point. And you need 5 of those to win the game. And then there's arcade mode. Now if you really like the game like I do, then you can consider buying the full version for $20 a year, and it allows you to play unlimited maps, daily new maps, and join new clubs to play more maps, like the Zerator ones, which are really cool. I hope you enjoyed my TED Talk. I mean my presentation, sorry, and I'll see you around. But before ending, I want to address the 2 kids in the room I haven't talked about. First, there was a Wii version of Trackmania, and finally, this. I won't talk about it, the footage speaks for itself.